Hi, I'm Nisha DeGaring, host of Good Things Utah, and I've been a longtime supporter of Todd's Beliefcast. I hope you find inspiration in the courageous stories shared by the amazing people Todd features on his show. The guests serve as shoulders for us to stand on, allowing us to see a little further and cultivate belief in oneself. Remember, you have the dignity and power to change. I encourage you to keep striving and believing in yourself. Enjoy today's podcast.
I want to take a moment to express my heartfelt gratitude to the incredible sponsors of the Beliefcast podcast. First, Craig from Craig Swap & Associates. If you need an attorney, he's your guy. Trustworthy, compassionate, always there when you need him most. Next, Wasatch Recovery, the greatest university on the planet, transforming lives one day at a time. Sandy from Minky Couture, the creative genius behind the most comfortable blanket you'll ever wrap yourself in. Comfort like no other. The visionaries behind Thread wallets. These wallets redefine style and functionality. Dave Philippi from Micro Plus, pushing the boundaries of nanotechnology and scientific research to bring us cutting-edge supplements for optimal health. The Ralphs and the Debenhams, creators of Mori Nutrition and Calm. Because if you're struggling with sleep, feeling stressed, or can't focus, Calm is your answer. Special thanks to the award-winning pianist Paul Cardall for his beautiful music that brings inspiration to every episode. And finally, Gab Wireless, letting kids be kids and giving parents the peace of mind they deserve. Right now, Gab is offering $25 off any device to new customers with no contract required. That's $25 off any Gab smartphone or smartwatch. Just go to gab.com/belief. That's where you'll get the best deal. That's gabb.com/belief. Thank you to all these amazing sponsors for supporting the Beliefcast podcast and empowering us to continue spreading positivity and inspiration to the world. Welcome back, everybody. This is Todd Sylvester, the host of the Beliefcast. As always, thank you for tuning in week after week. It just means the world to me. I know I say this every single time I'm on this podcast, but without you guys, there'd be no reason to do this podcast. And I'm just grateful for the lives and the hearts that this podcast has touched over the years. Been doing this for 7 years now, and it just blows my mind where it's at today. Over 400 episodes, have amazing sponsors. I can't thank them enough. And again, it's someone the other day asked, why is your podcast successful? I says, because I don't make it about me. I make it about these amazing people that I bring on. And today's someone really special to me. His name is Scott Forbes. He's a great friend of mine. We've known each other for years. And Scott, thank you for being here today.
Todd, thank you very, very much for having me today.
Yeah.
And if you'll allow me just one quick minute, because
Yes.
I am going to make this about you for just a second.
Please.
For those of you that might be listening for the first time or those who listen regularly, I want you to understand that I've known Todd for more than 40 years.
Yeah.
And he is as real of a deal of a human being as there could ever be. Your show is the most aptly and most honest and most well-named show there could be, because Todd, you've inspired me so many times, and not just me. We have a very close-knit group of about a dozen of us, the Band of Brothers, as I like to refer to us,
for sure,
of which you are part of.
Yeah,
and I know you've inspired many of them along this journey. So thank you so much. So
thank you.
You guys are in very good hands. So I am so thankful and very honored that you asked me to be part of this. So
wow.
Let's get going.
I wasn't expecting that, but thank you. That means the world, Scott. And you already got me crying. Thank you. That means the world. We were just talking off air here before we started. A few weeks ago I was on a run, and I had I get tons of inspiration when I'm running. It's like my place where I feel like closest to God, honestly, on so many levels. And I had this inspiration just downloaded as I'm running saying, get Scott Forbes on your podcast. And I'm like, yeah, done deal. And so I share that with you this morning. And then what did you tell me?
I said, well, that's kind of interesting, because a couple weeks ago I was in my training and had an inspiration to myself that I wonder if my story would ever be worthy. I wonder if what I'm doing, or the transformation, or the just what I have to say might be of interest to you. So we definitely had a connection.
Yeah.
And then shortly thereafter, you reached out with that text, and I was like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Mind blowing.
yeah,
Yeah. It's amazing how we're so connected. We don't even realize it. Like, I think that all of us are connected in this world.
yeah,
We're all, sometimes we're maybe not on the same frequency, if you will.
exactly. And I think that's 100% it. I think that how we resonate is very, very accurate. I think that's the truest statement of all. And when you find that true resonance with another person or a group of people, it's pretty powerful. It's pretty special.
Yeah. And I've never found it more in line with someone when we get vulnerable. And today we're going to get a little vulnerable.
Let's do it.
And we're going to connect, and we're going to connect with everyone listening. And so, guys, you're in for a treat. So, Scott, why don't you tell us a little bit about, your childhood, where you grew up? I mean, like you mentioned, we've known each other for a long, long time.
Yeah.
I've got some stories and stuff, and I'm going to share those as well. But tell us a little bit about that.
So I grew up, my parents divorced when I was young. And then my mom remarried when I was 5, and we moved into the Cottonwood Heights area. And, pretty normal childhood from there.
Yeah.
I had a blended family. I was the youngest. My next closest sibling with that particular family was 7 years older than me. And then I have a sister from my father's side, and that other side of the family who's 4 years younger than me. That's right.
Is that right? Yeah.
No, 6.
Do the math here.
She's 6 years younger than me. But anyway, pretty normal. Pretty normal. I was in athletics and stuff. I watched my older brother get into some trouble and challenges as he started high school.
Yeah.
And I learned that, keeping good grades would allow me to do all the same devious things my brother was doing, but without all the pressure, because I was in sports.
Yeah.
I was, I guess we were in popular part of the high school culture.
Sure.
So I was doing all the right things. So I was able to hide all the wrong things,
Yeah.
of which you and I certainly dabbled a whole bunch.
Sure.
And,
Yeah.
I was thinking about this as I was driving over here, that you and Dean, as we were younger, I thought were most likely to have the most calamity and the most damaged future. And yet you two seem to have been the ones to first pull yourselves out of it all.
Wow.
And inspire us all to be better men.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. It's interesting about, let's go to Dean, because I think Dean, even parents were so worried about him. Like, man, this guy's going down the wrong road.
Yeah.
He's going to blow up his life. But yet he was the first one to turn it around.
Graduated college
in 4 years, which is unheard of. Yeah. And just he blew everyone's mind, which I really respect that about Dean, that he didn't listen to the naysayers, if you will.
No.
And just said no. And Dean was always that guy, I'm going to do what I want.
Right.
And almost like, oh, you don't think I'm going to do it? Watch me, And so I really respected that. But to be lumped in with Dean means a lot. I was very fortunate to get my life turned around. I was going down the road of calamity for sure. But I think a lot of us were, honestly. You think about what we were doing back then, to think that, there was a few of us that didn't make it out of that, unfortunately. Right. But it's funny, as I, think of you in high school, just being from a distance, you were the stud football player, the linebacker. I'll never forget just you always wearing your jersey on game day and just going, freak, that guy's a badass. Seriously,
Thank you.
And it's funny, most of us back then were always, we were all insecure, trying to fit in, this and that. But, everyone viewing Scott Forbes like, oh, geez, man, Scott Forbes, he's the dude. Well, he's the man.
Well, I appreciate that. But inside that insecurity was right there. And, that insecurity is what I think, had me drinking early. Was that social anxiety, that unknown even what that was, or what that could be, or what that was, or how those things affected me. And I was always very insecure inside, trying to fit in. And I think a lot of that came off as bravado and as a bully at times. And for that, I'm sorry. I apologize for that part of my adolescence. But
I'm glad you bring that up, because that's a vulnerable thing to say, because I think a lot of times we do pick on others just out of our own insecurity, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I got to tell you a quick little side note story here. So this is probably it's been about 2 years now, and I won't say the woman's name, but it's someone we went to high school with. And I had done a speaking event at Harriman High School, and this kid that was in the audience was her son.
Okay.
And I guess he went home and was just like raving, going, "Oh my gosh, this guy changed my life. You couldn't believe what he said." And da da da. Well, unbeknownst to him, I guess I had picked on his mom during high school.
Yeah.
And so I get this private message from her on Facebook, right? And she told me that whole experience, and then to find out this was the guy that mocked me and teased me. And to be quite honest with you, Scott, I don't even remember doing it. I really don't. But I was the insecure punk, smack talking kid behind the scenes, the most insecure, the most whatever.
Yeah.
And I just told her, I was just devastated to hear this from her. And I, obviously apologized profusely. I even told her, I don't even remember, but I'm not denying it. I'm sure I was, because I was a punk. And I just told her, man, my life has changed. And I hope that, the way I live my life and being kind to others can somehow make amends to you.
Yeah.
And so I bring that up because I think a lot of us were that way back in the day, where we were just trying to feel better about ourselves. So we maybe at times picked on others.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's just being honest.
Dean didn't stuff himself in the garbage can.
That's true.
But no, there was a lot. Preppy pinball, some of the stupid things I did. There's a lot. And that's all just masking insecurity. I had to figure that out, and I'm sorry. I can't change the past in that sense.
Yeah.
And so I'm sorry that if I was ever a bully or treated someone inappropriately, I'm sorry. I apologize.
Yeah, me too.
I was a scared kid too, and that doesn't justify, but that's the reality of how I lived as a teenager. Now, I try to be different as a man. I try to be super vulnerable. My wife taught me two very important words: radical acceptance, and what that means. And I had to learn that it doesn't just mean that everything everybody does is okay and it's just their choice and I have to accept that. It also means that I get to radically accept the boundaries that I set.
Yeah.
And I get to have those. And I all of that was freeing. But none of that happened truly until I got rid of alcohol in my life, until I allowed myself to have some clarity there, because and I went through a lot to get there.
Well, let's talk about that for a minute. Obviously, you're married to an amazing woman.
Yes.
She's fantastic. We all love her. She's just a light that shines so bright.
Yes, she does. Yes.
And so to hear Scott say radical acceptance is actually pretty cool. I never thought I'd hear him say that.
Right?
But again, it's so great to have people in our lives that can help us, show us the way, that kind of thing. And so, but let's go back a little bit further, Scott, where, again, you graduate from high school. We're all in the party scene at that point. We're still going down that road, but you've always been a very successful person in my eyes. Entrepreneur, you've created businesses, you've done really well at certain things. And I've always admired that about you. Just a guy that I'm going to try this. I'm going for it. And, I always admired and looked up to that. But talk about that journey. I know it's a lot of years there, but got you to the point where alcohol isn't serving me anymore, and kind of take it from there.
So my career path took me down the road of, as you said, entrepreneurship. I've worked for myself for almost 30 years.
Yep.
And a lot of ups and downs in that. You don't ever turn it off when you're self-employed, right? You just, it's always there.
Yeah. You're always going.
Now that's a lot of good. The good is that I get to control my time in a lot of ways. And that's very important to me.
Yeah.
So it allowed me to, in addition to have a career, I was able to coach and be involved with my sons as they grew up. So that was good. But part of my career was in sales. And in sales, wine and dine and partying is a part of that game.
For sure,
for many years, that played right into it.
Yeah.
And then raising kids, we got married. I got married when I was 24. We had two sons. That marriage didn't last. We divorced or separated in 98 and divorced in 2000. We have 2 amazing sons that are doing awesome.
They're awesome
Hunter
kids.
and Ireland.
Yeah, great kids.
Great kids.
Yep.
Ireland is in his second year at University of Des Moines, DO Medical School. So he's,
Wow.
yeah, Hunter graduated as a computer science or computer engineer.
Yeah.
From the U. So they're both doing good.
Yeah.
But my journey was a lot of parenting. Once I was divorced and a single dad, that presented a whole new challenges. And it was, I didn't want them to ever get broken on my watch. So I was overly sensitive to a lot of things, and that created a lot of anxiety in myself. And that is, I think, another reason why between insecurity, social anxiety, and anxiety of parenthood and all that, and just, raising kids, I sought alcohol as the relief to that. I know I did. And I can see the pattern in that. And then the alcohol started to become it became part of everything that we did. And not just me, it was my entire social group it didn't matter whatever social function it was or holiday it was, alcohol was certainly a part of that.
Yeah.
And that becomes the way it is. And so that just continued to get deeper and deeper. I met someone in 2000, and we had a 10-year relationship. We were married for 6 of those years. She was amazing, but alcohol, I watched it destroy her. And that didn't really totally clue me in. She's now dead. She's gone. And I don't know necessarily if it was alcohol related, but I don't know. She was way too young to be gone.
I remember that. Yes, yeah. That's tough.
But that didn't stop me. That just, continued me going. So I shaped my whole life around alcohol in many, many ways. But what's funny is I never lost sight of where you were in this life journey during this time, because we didn't walk the same path for many years, but we never lost a connection.
Right.
It's like we were 17 years old just right now sitting here today, right? It feels like we've just,
I know.
There's never that loss of connection.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
And so even though we were on different life paths, I knew you were out there. And I always was like, man, how can you do it? How can he do it? I can't do it. I can't do it without this.
Yeah.
And so it built upon. And then if we get to, after I was divorced in 2011, I had a long span of just trying to figure out who I was. Alcohol played into the part of me having to, go to rehab a couple times for a minute.
Yeah.
And, you and I counseled during those periods, right? We talked to each other. And, so I learned all the things that I needed to do. And I certainly knew how to answer the questions they wanted me to answer during that time.
Yeah.
So, I was able to play the system in a sense to get along with my life and get back going, and then allow, once again, alcohol to slowly creep itself back in, and then it becomes an all the time. And now we get to where I lose my mom in November of 2018 after a short illness, and I lost my other mom, my stepmom, in August of that year, of that 2018. Both were supposed to have 6 months, and they both got 6-week end journeys. So that's where I learned a lot about what it means to provide safety and dignity, and not focus on, being able to be there for your parents as they step off to the next journey and do it, I don't know, the best you can is a great feeling.
Sure.
It's a great warm feeling. But as my mom's passing, I am meeting this new person, and it took me a minute to allow her to me really to get it. But March of 19, all of a sudden the light kind of opened, and yes, Stacy came into my life, and I was still drinking but I don't know, she opened up a door. Through this last few years, in addition to the alcohol I was dealing with, I would deal with these seasonal, this time of year, usually they would start in August, September, but I was going through these cluster migraines. You and I talked about that before. And that was a horrible experience. It was the worst experience I've ever had in my life, because I ended up having 2 nasal surgeries, thinking that that's what it was, to try to fix it. I sought multiple neurologist for help. Finally found a specific cluster headache or a migraine specialist neurologist. And he was able to help me with some medicines and stuff, but I was still not paying attention to what I should be doing. And so I had several years where I would go through multiple weeks of these headaches that would come sometimes 6 times a day, and they would last around an hour, and it was just the worst misery you could have ever imagined. So it made my world really, really small.
Wow.
And as soon as I got real heavy into drinking afterwards, it was like, oh, the pain's gone away. So, but through that, I had some real tough times. I mean, I had, our band of brothers gather me because they're like, you're saying things like you want to kill yourself. There was some,
scary
and I
times.
did, yeah. So then one part of the treatment was they put me on Flonase, and that for me created a absolute suicidal tendency. I was in really bad shape. So that put me in the hospital for a minute to grab some clarity, but it still wasn't sinking in. I didn't get it. So all the way until July of 2021, my stomach started hurting, and it was a pain that was just not going away and not going away. And that evening we went to see Tyler Tovey's band play at Urban Lounge, our beloved brother Drew Tovey's son.
Oh, yeah.
And for me, the last alcohol I got to experience was a lukewarm Coors Light Draft was my last alcohol. Because that night the pain got really bad. At about 5 o'clock in the morning, I woke my wife up and said, I'm going to the hospital. I'm going. If you want to come with me, great. But so they're like, you've got pancreatitis. And that scared me in a way I've never been scared before. Not only was the pain crazy, and the treatment for that was basically they put you on opioids and starve you.
Yep.
And so that started a 3-day journey in the hospital. I was terrified because our other band of brother member, Mike Crosland, had lost his wife a year before to pancreatic cancer.
Jeez.
And so I was terrified in the hospital. And wouldn't you know, here comes the cluster migraine scenario. As I'm in the hospital, they start to heat up, and I start having them in the hospital. So now I'm in terror. So I come out of the hospital, and I'm in this scenario of these headaches. And it was horrible. It goes 6 weeks. Through that, we have to put down one of our dogs, our beloved Boomer. It was just horrible. I mean,
just a lot hidden.
I was horrible.
Time, yeah.
Well, as I'm coming through this, about a month into this whole deal, I get the realization that, hey, you've just been a month without alcohol. And I'm not done with these headaches, but holy crap, you've been a month without alcohol. So I dug in. And I'm like, all right, let's see what we can do. And then it became a challenge. And then 1 month was 6 weeks, or 6 weeks was 8 weeks. And then once I got into it, and then the headache stopped. And then a moment of clarity started to present itself.
Yeah.
And then you crept into my head. There's a reason that I text you on that day, July 8th, every year.
Yep.
As my new birthday, in that sense of finding a freedom of alcohol.
Yeah.
The reason is that you were my inspiration, man. Because I saw you do it day in, day out without it. And then it became, okay, can I get through this scenario? Can I get through this holiday?
Yeah.
And I started to rack those up on holidays. And then over that, there was tragedy and there was triumph over that first year.
Right.
There was life and there was death over that first year I experienced. So I felt like once I got around the year, made that first journey around, I'm like, okay, I've experienced pretty much all the gambits, all the emotions. I did all of them without alcohol. I think this is a better way. Wow. And since then, I mean, I was able to get back into fitness the way I wanted. I was able to correct, the alcohol soft middle age, and now I'm in pretty good shape.
Yeah, right.
I cycle a lot. I train a lot.
You look great.
Yeah, no, it's a whole new world. Waking up in the morning is an absolute amazing journey every day versus the
Yeah, right.
And the only way to get the to go away was to get some booze in you, get something in you.
Yeah, I don't like this feeling.
Yeah.
And everyone listening to this can understand that.
Yeah.
Like on some level, right?
Yeah.
Mornings can be really tough for people.
Yeah.
I was never a morning person and hated mornings, and now Same thing. I freaking love it. I love getting up early. I love just, popping out of bed like a piece of toast.
I know you're a freak though.
I can't, well, and I can't, I say that I don't do that every day, but I try to.
Yeah.
And there's days where I do it a lot and I feel amazing, but there's, we all have our struggles, but it's interesting, like just seeing you now and just every time I see you, you just look fantastic. And I say that to you all the time, and I don't say it just to make you feel good. It really is a huge difference on just your whole countenance on the journey you've been through and how good you look today versus maybe where you looked 5 years ago even. It's amazing.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. It's important. I mean, a lot of things changed for me. In this last year, I was presented with a whole new journey, which I'm sure we'll get into.
Yes.
But that made me reflect on what I want out of life and what's important to me.
So let's talk about that now. We're here.
Okay,
What was the challenge for our listeners?
This year's been fraught with some very, very real life moments for me and challenges that, the fact that I'm giggling and laughing and I feel pretty silly in this whole thing is testament to just willpower, brother, and what you teach me about, popping up and getting up and those little victories. For me, it's wake up, make the bed. Got to do it every morning.
Yeah.
First victory of the day. I don't know. It just is.
It really is.
It's important, right? It's important. Those little victories. So, I learned early on, because my grandfather died of colon cancer at 42, that I needed to be conscious of my medical or my body and what was going on medically or physiologically. Yeah. So at 40, I started colonoscopies. And then I was counseled to start seeing a urologist at 50. So I did that. And through there, they started to see, a slight increase in my PSA numbers. And in 23, my number was a 4. So I go in January for my test, and he comes back and he says, well, it's a 7. And Les Medor, the PA I was working with, the urologist PA, he's like, listen, I'm a year older than you, and I just went through this a year ago and had the same numbers, and I don't like this, so I'm going to step past these 2 tests. We're going to go right to have an MRI done. So now I'm like, oh, geez, this isn't good. So what could be? So through all the testing, early March, I find out that I do, in fact, have a moderately aggressive form of prostate cancer. Uh-oh.
Wow.
We also, on that same day, received a much more dire phone call from Stacy's father that he'd been diagnosed with late-stage pancreatic cancer. Oh, shit. Yeah, that was
wow.
That was really tough. I mean, my wife, I think that those were the two, I don't know. I mean, I saw her take 2 dramatic blows, but I didn't see it buckle her. I saw her reach for God. That's her solace. Yeah. Reaching for Jesus.
Yep.
And her prayer group, and she sought some counsel in that, and she was instantly strengthened. So, now for me, and you and I have talked about this a little bit because I was struggling for a while, because for me, cancer it happened. It's real. I had it. The doctor was like, wow, it was a little more set up to be outside of your pancreas than I thought. And so then getting the follow-up, I just had my 6-month checkup. I'm still clean. But
that's awesome.
Those are moments of anxiety, right? Those are moments of serious anxiety, and learning how to deal with that was tough. I was terrified. But for me, cancer in many ways was not unlike somebody having gallbladder surgery or an appendix out. I didn't have to have chemotherapy. I didn't have to have radiation, at least not at this point. So for me, when they're like, well, you're a cancer survivor. Well, technically, but in many ways I felt like an imposter in that, because I didn't have that journey. I didn't lose my hair. I mean, genetics did that. So,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, totally.
I wasn't, it was a different experience for me. Now, having prostate cancer, it scared me, and it does scare me. It scares me because that means that cancer, I'm not invincible.
Yeah.
I'm not invincible. So, what could be next? What will be next? Who knows? I don't know. So there's that underlying fear that you live in.
Yeah.
I try to just not let it certainly take over me.
For sure.
I'm not going to let it control who I am.
Right.
But then we also watched what my father-in-law went through, which he tried to fight it. He put up a fight, but it was not a fight that was really possible.
Yeah.
And we lost him in July. And I talked to you about that because that had its own moment of...
Yeah, I got you in line with Dr. Jeff O'Driscoll.
Yes, because
that
whole moment of something I don't know really how to explain.
Yeah.
And for those, I'll explain it right now, is he was passing the day that my father-in-law, Paul, passed. He was surrounded by family, and there was a moment where they were all stepped out to eat, and I was alone. And I was very quiet. I didn't have my phone with me. I didn't have anything. I just sat.
No distractions.
No distractions. And I watched something emanate from him. And I looked, as I told you, I looked and tried to find what could be producing this emanation, this silhouette almost, this presence. I don't know. There was something there that was gathering something. There was something that I watched leave from him. And I got up and I told my wife, and I'm like, I got to step out. And, as I got to the end of the street and got the phone call that he had passed. And so I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
But
wow.
It was special. And I don't know if it was, we were sharing a journey, and
yeah.
But I knew that he was at a place of peace, and I mean, where I'm at spiritually, I don't, have faith in faith. I don't believe in belief.
Yeah.
I cling to hope, and I believe in love. And that's faith to me.
Yeah.
Said the words of Neil Peart in the Rush song Faithless.
Yeah.
But there's something else. I know that. There is something. There's more to this journey. We have to.
Yeah.
There just has to be. But I just don't know that it's necessarily what we're taught to believe.
This is going to seem like a curveball, but it isn't. What do you see when you look at Stacy?
Oh, man. That light that you talked about.
Yeah.
There's a light in her that is... It's special at a depth that I never understood. We got engaged spur of the moment. It was... we were at dinner at Cooper's on the balcony in Bear Lake, one of our most favorite places.
Yeah.
And the band was playing something, and it came up with if they play a certain Zac Brown tune.
Yeah.
I'm like, if they play that song, I'll ask Stacy to marry me. And we're sitting there, 10 minutes later, all of a sudden somebody goes, they're playing that song. Dropped to my knee and said, marry me. Had no ring. Went and bought her a ring pop the next morning. Yeah, seriously.
I love it.
And, a lot of people were like, wow, that was, we started seeing each other realistically in March, and this was in June, and we were married in September.
Yeah.
Do you remember the 21st day of September?
Of September.
Yeah. So
yeah, that's amazing.
What I see in her is the most honest, loving, caring person that I've ever truly met. She brings out the best in everyone she
really
meets.
Does.
Yeah.
Well, and I see her bring the best out in you, dude.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, that's why when you talked about that experience, seeing that silhouette leave.
Yeah.
And what was that experience? The reason why I asked you, what do you see in Stacy? It's like, it's almost like she is that special thing.
Yeah.
That light.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. Like, she has this presence about her. Like, when we've been to your house before, it's just like, whoa, who is this woman?
Yeah.
Like, you can just, there's something there it's not different. It's just, I don't know, special maybe is the word.
Well, it is special. And, I think that she likes to think that my mom had a lot to do with us finding. And Dode, wherever you are in the cosmos, thank you if you did. I mean, I love you. I miss you.
Yeah.
It's special. I mean, the bond we have is something I never thought I would have with another human being. I mean, not only is she my best friend, but she is a true soulmate in that she just, like she does, she brings out the best in me. She brings out the best in those. But for her, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, I don't know that we'd have been a fit, because she's been doing the work along the way too.
Sure.
For her, she found solace in Celebrate Recovery, which is a faith-based 12-step program. And, I mean, it's amazing what she has gone through and what she has learned to walk the talk.
Yeah.
And you are a walk the talk, Sly. You are a walk the talk guy.
Thank you.
You always have been. And that's part of your sage wisdom that I've hoped to take a little bit. Every time I'm with you, I hope I gain a little bit more, because you are one of those people. My sister has walked the talk.
Yeah.
She now, has done the work and understands it. And so for me, I was exposed to it all through all these different journeys I've been through, and it wasn't until I got the clarity of freedom of alcohol where I could start to truly utilize the skill set that I'd been taught through all these rehab or refocus journeys that I'd been on in the past, right?
Yeah.
I knew what to do.
Sure.
And so now it was time to listen. And so I've been doing that, and I try to walk the talk myself.
Yeah.
And part of that was learning to be okay with eliminating toxicity where you need to. And sometimes, you know what I went through with that. I mean, I had a 25-year relationship that was not only someone who was my family, but was a business partner. And the toxicity that was within that had to be eliminated. And that was tough. That was really hard.
For sure.
But man, I feel better.
Yeah.
Having.
It's what it was needed. It was needed because it was the thing to break you free, if you will, for your own journey. We're not bagging on the other person.
No.
We're just saying that, and hopefully that person is having that same journey now.
Yeah.
But it allowed you to finally go, okay, I'm going to go be who I'm supposed to be.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. Man, does that feel good.
Right.
To live in my own skin, or to live in the skin that feels just right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good. And Todd, I am so grateful for the friends I have in this world, like you, the family I have. I sent it out, I think on Thanksgiving, about it. It takes a village are words that mean so much to me.
Yep. It does take a village.
It does take a village, but if you want to be part of the village, then you got to do your part. And teams are important to me. That coaching, football, all that whole concept of all the parts coming together and working together in harmony and homogeny is good. Now, it's funny because most of my work is done singularly, and I am by myself most of the time in that aspect.
Sure.
And that's okay too.
Yeah.
But I'm grateful that I get to have the life I live. I mean, I get to do a lot, but that didn't come overnight.
Yep.
And it didn't come without sacrifice and willingness to face the hard stuff. And that's where you inspire. That's where you, I think, give people this suit of armor. And that's what I feel like now, especially with alcohol. I feel like I have a suit of armor around me. I mean, I have alcohol in my house. Somebody wants to come over and partake, I'm happy to help them. It's not like I'm afraid of it. You can't be, because
it's everywhere. Anyways.
It's everywhere. No one's going to stop me if I want to go get alcohol.
Exactly.
So it's up to me every day to make that decision.
Yep.
And right now it's a super easy one to make, because
Yep.
I see no value in it. There's so much more to this
Right.
without the things that, Now, am I an angel? No. When I say, I've been sober for alcohol for 3.5 years. Yep. But I'm a California sober kind of guy in that sense.
Yeah. Well, again, you faced the thing that was destroying you.
Yes.
At the end of the day, and you knew it for a decade.
At least, if
not longer. And how many of you listening right now have something in your life that's this vice? There's no judgment here. It's just be curious about it. And what is keeping you from actually finally going, okay, I've got to eliminate this thing in my life because it's holding me back. And you talk about that suit of armor, and I like to look at it this way. I'll ask my clients all the time, what's the definition of success? And I get all kinds of answers, right? And they're all really good answers, right? The best answer I've ever heard, and I learned it from a client here at Wasatch, she said, I think success is being comfortable in your own skin.
Absolutely.
And that's what I see about you. You've always been that way to me. Like, you even going back to high school, like, I just thought, man, you had your act together. This kid, but you don't know anything when you're a kid. You just think, man, I wish I was Scott Forbes. Look at this guy. He's confident. He's a star athlete, da-da-da-da. But here we are now. And what I've seen in you over the last, say, 10 years, even the transformation in yourself and all the things we've bounced off of each other and talked about, the light I see in you is you're just comfortable in your own skin.
Thank you. I mean, again, thank you. I know my wife would say I'm an anxious person in that I have a lot of energy. I don't, I do. I don't sit still very well. I don't sit down well. I stand up a lot while we're watching TV.
What are you doing? We're watching a show. Huh?
Exactly.
I don't know. I'm just standing up.
Yeah. That's me, right?
Well, yeah. But again, I'm not saying you're perfect.
Right.
The point is you've come, this journey is getting you to a point where I'm Scott Forbes and I know who I am. And these are the things I deal with. And these are the things I'm working on and things I've overcome.
And I think that a lot of that comes from, I have people like you supporting me. I have a wife who supports me. I have family who, support me. Those all, I think, are catalysts to feeling that sense of self and
those band of brothers we always talk about, and they know who they are and they're amazing people.
Yeah.
Just this text stream that we're all on because of the football thing, and just seeing everyone, like, there's times where I'm going, man, everyone's so kind and nice.
Yeah.
Like, it's so beautiful to watch. And, it's just funny. I don't know why it strikes me as a little bit funny, but at the same time, so beautiful.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, we've kind of grown up a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, you can only, throw so many shots at that person's mom.
Well, or when you guys are leaving the Ute football game and someone just, shoulder shimmies you into a bush.
Yeah.
Which, again, that's all part of the connection piece that we all have. And but I'm just grateful to be a part of that as well. But, anyway, it's just cool to see all the support and love when someone needs help, and one of our band of brothers' mom had just passed away, and just the support that he received from all of us. And really cool to just watch that people have your back,
It is important. I mean, it's important. We are not,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think we're meant to be solitary creatures. We're just not.
Yeah.
It's just not. And I'm not, even though, like I said, most of my work is done in solace. And that's hard. That part is hard sometimes. It gets lonely. But
sure.
I have a huge village that's out there. So that's okay too.
Yeah.
So we're all in this together. And that's the thing that's been really cool. And, I think also, Todd, we're at a part where, we're approaching a life spot where things are different, right? Where, it's not what was important 10 years ago is not as important as today, right?
Yeah, we see it differently.
Yeah. I mean, for my particular family, we're at a point where we're finding the light at the end of the tunnel as far as securing ourselves for long-term, to be able to retire and those things, and it's to be that part of the journey is kind of interest because again, when I sit and look at you, I see the same person, me and you and Brownlee, air guitaring.
Yeah. Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, those
I
were
go right back to that moment.
Right?
You know, jump on my mom's Blazer down. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, the Blazer.
Lunchtime was different.
Yeah, it was different.
Yeah.
It's amazing the shocks didn't go out on that thing.
Yes.
But there's so many moments like that throughout life, and here we are at this place where we're thinking, okay, now I got to think of retirement and what's the next chapter look like in my life, and
grandkids, man.
Grandkids, and
you have grandkids?
Yeah, I've got 3 and 1 on the way.
Right.
I'm like, what is going on here?
Yeah.
But it's a beautiful time of life as well.
Yeah.
You know. But again, it has its challenges. It's like every part of life does.
Yes.
You know.
And before we go further,
please.
You mentioned my lovely wife.
Yes.
We can't not mention Bonnie Sylvester, who is one of my most favoriteest people.
Yeah.
And
she's great.
You know, I got a special bond with her over those many years at the Raintree House.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yep.
She's an awesome lady, and that's another bright person.
Oh, thank you. And she thinks the world of you and Stacy.
Yeah.
She follows all of Stacy's stuff and just loves this woman. But anyway, yeah, thank you. I've again very blessed. Again, keeps me in line and shows, taught me the word, radical acceptance.
Right.
She teaches me things that I never would consider. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I guess we're going to learn about this today, and but I never, it's just amazing when you're around people who just build you up and make you better.
Well, and to see her rethink some things in her life.
Yeah.
And come to some different conclusions on some things.
Yeah.
And invest herself in some causes that were a step out from what would have been, I guess, part of the past.
Yeah.
And I was so proud of her. She is again.
She's a brave soul.
We outkicked our coverage when it came to our
for sure
wives. I mean, we just did.
She really did. She stepped out and reached out to a group of people who are marginalized and who don't feel safe.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, I was nervous that she was doing it, to be honest, because I was just uncomfortable. And I'll never forget getting a letter from a little girl in our neighborhood who was who's a lesbian. Never would have known that. And this letter basically just saying, for the first time in my life, I feel safe in my neighborhood because of you.
Yeah.
And this was because of Bonnie and the work she was doing in our neighborhood. And I thought, wow, if that saved that girl's life, I don't know if it does or not, but at least that for a moment, this little girl for the first time felt safe. I mean, isn't that worth it, I guess?
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
that really opened my eyes a lot to what she was trying to do. And we got a lot of hate mail as well, which is interesting. And again, there's such as life, I guess.
Yeah.
You just got to roll with some of that as well. But at the end of the day, we know what it's like to be on the back end of the struggle, if you will. I mean, for me, it was drugs and alcohol. It took me down a really dark path. Yeah. You've been through that as well, also with the cancer thing and a bunch of other things. You've had a lot of death in your life around you. Yeah. And the way you've handled that with dignity, man, has been so inspiring. And so it's just I really believe those things happen for us because it makes us stronger and better. It purifies you.
I mean, it has to, right?
Yeah. I mean,
there's 2 ways to go.
Or you play victim to it,
exactly.
which you haven't, Scott.
Yeah, no.
And I love that you're a deep thinker. You look at things, and I just love that about you.
Accountability is important to me.
Yeah.
And being accountable to myself is important. I took it for granted for a long time.
Yeah.
But it's important. So I think that's...
Yeah.
We are... I was a huge Rush guy, right?
Oh, yeah.
I spent a decade.
Every time I hear Rush, I think of Scott Forbes.
Thank you. But,
Which is funny. That every time I hear a Pink Floyd, I think of Mike Crosland.
That's appropriate, too.
I really do.
Yeah, that's
every time I hear a song, I think Crosland. I don't know. It's just so funny. Yeah.
But the humanist voice that was spoken or sung by Getty, but written by Neil, that resonated with me, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Because, beyond whatever there is in the next step or our next journey as we go beyond, what I do know is that you're here, man, and I love you. And if I can help you in some way, then that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you think your future after you die.
Yeah.
That necessarily doesn't matter. But what I want to do is make sure that you are safe, and that's what I'd like to see is more of that amongst us. We got away from that,
Right.
We are tribalized, and we are tribalized on a couple of different politically,
Right.
religiously, and that part I struggle with our society right now, because it's just, I don't know, that just goes against the humanist grain in me that we need to.
Right. I agree with you. And I again, there's so many labels and so many of this and that separates us and causes division. But again, the vulnerability and the connection and the love, man, that's where we can all come together. And I know that sounds like almost like cliche, but it's true.
It is true.
It's true.
It is true.
You
Let's find our commonalities versus exploiting the differences.
Yeah. I love that.
So you said you had some quotes.
I do. I want to read this to you, Scott. Hear your thoughts. This is from the Bhagavad Gita. And I love this quote, but I want to hear your thoughts on it. For the one who has conquered the mind is the best of friends. But for the one who has failed to do so, the mind will be his greatest enemy. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that they were onto something long, long ago.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that, there's a lot more in that book than just some little bits of wisdom like that.
Right.
I think there's some historical knowledge in some of those books.
For sure.
About some things. So I think that our mind is the most powerful tool in the universe, the human mind that we know. I think it truly is the most powerful tool. Now, I think that there's probably entities out there that are able to access more of their cerebral knowledge than we are. But I think that says a lot about how you control your destiny, because if you are subject to your mind and your anxieties taking control, then you're going to fall victim. I mean, I think that's just the way it is. And so conquering that mind, or ego versus id, however you want to put it.
Just going to move this a little bit here.
Okay. Am I not getting...
No, you're good. Just had to move the mic there for a quick sec. No, you're good. Yeah, right?
I think that we are all faced with that, it's that angel or demon scenario. Sign is your mind, because it can be either one, right? You can, and unfortunately, at least for me, my mind likes to race right to the worst possible scenario, right? That's usually where we go.
Yeah.
You have cancer. Oh, well, that's going here. Well, that wasn't the case. Yeah. Mine was able to be removed, and, so, but that's where we go. So getting control or maintaining control over that positive mindset is something you need to do on the day.
Yeah.
It's not something that you can let slide. And so what is that mantra to yourself? Whatever it is, it's got to be done, right? For me, it's that get out of bed, make the bed.
Yeah.
That sets me up to
get your
be
mind
on
right.
the way. Yeah. It gets me on. Yeah.
Love that. In Navy SEAL training, the first thing they teach them is how to make their bed and how to make it correctly. Yeah. That's the first thing they teach. Yeah. Because the same thing. It's the first success of the day.
First success of the day.
I love that. Okay. Love that. Okay, I got another one. This one's kind of long, so bear with me. It's by James Allen. He's the one who's famous for writing the book As a Man Thinketh.
Okay.
This wasn't from that book, but this is a statement from him. This is kind of long, but so bear with me. If we have to read it a few times, we will. But I love this. Kind of going along the lines with making your mind powerful. Array well your mind, then lover of truth. Be watchful, thoughtful, and resolute. Your salvation is at hand. Your readiness and effort are all that are needed. If you fell 10 times, do not be disheartened. If you should fail 100 times, rise up and pursue your way. If you should fail 1,000 times, do not despair. When the right path is entered, success is sure if the path is not utterly abandoned. First strife and then victory. First labor and then rest. First weakness and then strength. In the beginning, the lower life, and the glare and the confusion of battle, and at the end of life, beautiful, the silence and the peace.
That's awesome.
Isn't that beautiful? Reminds me of you, dude. No, seriously, like
Wow.
if you should fail, and what I took that as, here's this next challenge, and then the next challenge, and then the next challenge, and you never abolished the way. You stayed the course despite the struggle, even with alcohol that you mentioned. You stayed the course. You just did. You didn't give up. You just kept pursuing and pushing. And even though maybe at times you felt lost, you finally found this radical acceptance, this solace, this light.
Yeah.
And anyway.
Well, the common theme I heard through that one, and I guess to correlate the two together, would be two words: be accountable.
Love
Every
that.
one of those steps required accountability. Every one of those things that you just mentioned requires accountability. And that's where I truly rest my hat right now. I try to be accountable. Man, if I make a mistake, own it. I own it. I say I made a mistake. I'm sorry. I will try not to make that mistake in the future.
Right. I love that.
So
Accountability is powerful. And I think that sums it up right.
Yeah.
You know, I share with my clients all the time 4 things. Like if you want to change your life, it's these 4. Be honest, because it kills bad behavior. Have integrity, because nothing else matters. Be accountable, because suffering stops. See, when we play victim and point fingers and blame, which is the opposite of accountability, we continue to suffer. The moment we take accountability,
yeah,
our suffering stops.
yeah.
Isn't that beautiful?
It's true. It's true. And it could be so many things. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, part of this post-prostate cancer life, you know, I went through and I healed up from the surgical stuff.
Right.
But the healing or what you go through post-prostate removal
Yes.
surgery is not, it doesn't just, the surgery heals and you're good. You have to learn to get control of your bladder again, which was its own.
Another challenge.
Yeah. You know,
Yeah.
walking around with a man pond was not my,
Never heard of it. Never heard of it said that way, but yeah. But that, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that came back, you know, sexual function is a challenge.
Yeah.
And it's important. Intimacy is important. Not, you know, physical intimacy is very important in a relationship.
Yeah.
But, you know, I learned what intimacy truly means, and it's not necessarily physical. And that's
Yes.
another part of that light of my wife
Yeah.
that she's taught me is what that means, truly to be intimate with someone and just vulnerable. But,
Yeah.
you know, I'm going to get real raw right now. I had my 6-month checkup and he said, you know, how are the pills working? And I'm like, they're not really working to
Yeah.
give me the desired erectile function.
Yeah.
So he's like, I think we need to go to the next step. Well, what was that, doc? Well, you're going to inject yourself. Inject myself where, doc? Well,
Yeah.
there.
There.
That was terrifying. But that was another one of those, okay, can I overcome, right? Can I overcome this? It's important to me. And, you know, it will, because it's a long process with this to get back to health, just is.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
but a funny story along this, I have to tell you this. So if you're going down this route, you have to go to a compound pharmacy to get the stuff, and then you have to make an appointment for them to show you how to use it.
Right.
Okay, I make the appointment, go in. I'm thinking they're just going to show me what goes in the vial, and that's what it was. And nope, doctor's like, hey, drop trow. And I'm like, excuse me? He's like, well, we're going to try it. Not expecting that at all.
Wow.
So he injects me and then says, I'll be back in 15 minutes. Think happy thoughts. And I'm like, Oh no, number one, I was in the wrong sweatpants for. Yeah.
Yeah, you weren't prepared for that.
So he comes in and he's like, "How you feeling?" I'm like, "Well, pretty good." He's
yeah.
he's like, "Well, I would imagine your beautiful wife, you'll get a little more than." So then I have to call my wife, "Babe, can you cancel some meetings?
I need you now.
I need you now."
Like ASAP.
Yeah. So I mean, it works,
Yeah.
but it's part of just a new part of life, and
it's another obstacle. Yet you have to face.
Yeah.
And what do? You just face it.
You face
and you
it.
just go
And laugh about it where you can.
Yeah. I love that about laughing. I heard this quote, and I can't remember the guy's name, so forgive me. But he said, if you can laugh in the face of adversity, you are bulletproof.
100%.
So yeah, we need to
100%.
laugh. It's funny.
It is.
Life's funny.
It is funny.
The
and
stuff
you have
we
to
do
be
and
able
have to deal with.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I mean, the reality is that we're all aging, and as we age, certain things happen. And what I do know is that I can offset some of those things by being physically healthy. And hey, guess what? Take the poison of alcohol out of your system, and a lot of that physical problem will right itself. At least it did for me.
Sure.
It did for me.
Again, you caught it in time, because I've seen people where they go too far, too long, and they don't recover.
No.
So thankfully, you did that in time, if you will, because it causes so many permanent things. So
if I was still drinking, and I would have been and had this cancer diagnosis, I think it would have been a much different scenario. I think that number one, I don't think I would have healed as well. I don't, surgically, just
guaranteed you wouldn't have.
All those things
for sure.
Yeah, no. So
for sure.
Yeah.
So what a blessing that was.
Right.
I mean,
right.
Yeah. All of it.
Exactly.
It's amazing.
And that's where you got to find it. Can I could, woe is me. I have cancer. Woe is me. No, I had cancer. I was able to do something about it.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful that medicine is where it is, that we now have robots who can go in and do little fine touch surgeries that
it's amazing.
Can take something that was going to kill me.
Yep.
And just get rid of it.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It really is. And yeah. I ask this all the time, and I'm going to ask it of you. If there's someone listening to you right now and they're in a dark place and they are struggling and they're lost, if you will, what would you tell that one person right now?
As just a broad stroke, that you're not alone in any of this, that your struggle is being felt elsewhere. So find strength in that you're part of something. You're part of something, and that struggle will most likely be temporary. And that if you believe you can find a way out of it, you will. But, again, acceptance. If you're in a bad place, you sometimes have to accept why you're there and how you got there.
Yeah.
And it's hard.
Yeah.
And so, that's tough, because I wouldn't want to, make someone feel worse about their scenario in that sense. But I would certainly want them to understand where they fit in that, because that's the only way that they're going to find a way out, is to find out how they fit in putting themselves there, or why they're there. Now,
back to the accountability piece.
Yeah, that's a huge.
A lot of times we're the cause of our own suffering.
Yeah,
right.
Again, back to that, what the quote you read about the mind's power to control that, and and you can feed that. It's so easy today to feed that, because there's such a. There's a podcast on, I'm sure, feeding people scary stuff and making them scared. Yeah. There's podcasts for everything now, or there's networks that, their goal is to make you afraid, to make you afraid of your neighbor, or make you afraid of somebody that looks different. And that is not, I don't know where we got off track, because, man, I'm a kid and you're a kid of Conjunction Junction and Schoolhouse Rocks and right. and finding commonality, right? The melting pot.
Yeah.
Believing that just because someone looks different or loves different, that they're inherently bad or wrong that's just not, I can't be part of that. I don't want to be part of that.
Yeah.
I don't want to be part of that. And I don't know how I got off topic of your question, but I mean,
well, I like it.
To come back to that, I would hope that person would not give up.
Yeah.
To never give up. I used to have this mantra I would say with my sons growing up, and then it became something I would say before games when I coached teams, and it was, I would have all the kids together and I'd have them repeat, I believe in myself. I will never give up. I will never stop trying. There's nothing I cannot do. There's nothing I cannot become. There's nothing I cannot overcome.
Wow.
That was my
I love it.
prayer, if there was.
I love it. Yeah.
Because I'm not a
that's
prayer
beautiful.
guy in that sense.
Well, I believe when you speak it, you create it.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I love that, man.
Yeah. That was important to me. That was, I mean, I don't know. Being able to have people I can lean on and I know that are going to support me is a very, very warming, and it makes me feel very comfortable. So part of that, as you talked about, me looking like I feel, is that, like I said, it's that band of armor, not only myself, but that band of brothers, that band of sisters we have. We are grateful or fortunate. We're very fortunate.
Very fortunate. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's good stuff, Forbes. Good
Thank
stuff,
you, man.
Yeah, this has been a great conversation, and I could talk to you for hours.
Yes.
And hours and hours.
Well,
but I want to thank you for being who you are, for the dignity you've shown and the accountability you've shown through your trials. It's been amazing to watch. Tough to watch at times too, knowing that you were struggling. Scary at times, but just to see you rise above it. I know you had help, and again, we support each other. And shout out to Stacy for being who she is and for the light she brings into your life and to everybody
100%.
Else's.
Yes.
Yeah, just what a great conversation today. This is fantastic, man. It brightened my whole day, and it's going to brighten my whole week and month.
You always do that to me, brother.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is fun.
And the only thing that I see that you have some work to do is your fantasy football abilities.
Oh, I'm brutal. Dude, I'm so bad. I am like...
That's okay. I'm struggling this year too.
Dude, I'm so bad. I hopefully I can just stay with Toby and maybe I can beat him. Get one more win before, maybe I don't take last.
That would be
That would be kind of funny. But... yeah, it's funny because every time it shows probability of winning, and I'm always like, why? I've got a pretty good team.
You do.
I'm like, what is going on here? So anyway, it's been a lot of fun. And
T. Higgins on your bench this week was phenomenal.
Right? I know. The 1 week I bench Kirk Cousins, he gets 47 points. I'm like, what?
His career day.
Yeah, his career day, I bench him. Yeah. So
okay.
Anyway, it's fun because it's just always challenging and trying to figure that out. But I'm glad to be a part of it for the first time, and it's so much fun.
Yeah.
And it's just great to be able to rub shoulders with you guys again in that way, and
we'll get to
fun.
see you more, and it's
absolutely,
all good. Yeah,
absolutely.
And I'm glad that you got to see. I mean, when somebody loses somebody, it's important to us, and we always come together, and it's nice. It's just we are so blessed in that respect to have such good quality men. I want to shout those guys out, that not only all those guys, but especially the ones who were also single fathers like me, and we raised kids and
did it.
We did it, and
they all did it.
Yeah, they did all the
and
right
all those
things.
kids are amazing.
Yeah, we've
like
raised
amazing
some good kids.
They've turned out great.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
Yeah, we're raising quality members of society, and that's
absolutely
good stuff.
Yeah, no, you again, love you guys. Who we're talking about, and you better be listening to this.
Yeah,
no, they will. They for sure will. So this will brighten their day and everyone else's day, and we'll get this out to Bengal Nation, and
awesome.
And we'll promote the crap out of this.
Cool.
And so
I love you, man.
Love you too so much. Thank you. for being here,
Absolutely.
my friend.
Yeah.
Well, there you go, folks. I told you today you were in for a good one, and man, it did not disappoint at all. Again, thanks to my sponsors. Without you, this would not be possible. So thank you so much. And for all of you for tuning in week after week, if you have a loved one, a son or a daughter who's struggling, you're not sure how to even talk to them because, sometimes that can be an awkward conversation. Send them a link to this Beliefcast, and it will spark them to feel something different about themselves, and it'll give you a good way to break the ice and have some talking points with them. So please do that. And again, thanks for everyone for tuning in. And Scott, thanks for being who you are. We love you.
Love you too, man.
Take care.